Assalamu alaikum, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you. You can imagine how delighted I am, right? But also I would like to point out that this is the brainchild, essentially the brainchild and the person behind, who's been driving it, Khurshid over here, Khurshid Kotwal. So a big round of applause for her, because without her, this would not have been possible. So thank you so much, Khurshid. And my partner in crime, I would say, is Zainab Hamid. Zainab, please, if you can stand up and just let people see you. So everyone who's been associated with the course knows Zainab's role on it and how Zainab has been instrumental in establishing and taking this forward. So it has truly been my pleasure to have been a part of this whole journey, starting in 2022. And I think I'll just request that we put up the slides. The slides will just make it a bit more interesting because you will be able to see some of the things that I'm talking about. But essentially, it was May 2022 that Khurshid contacted me. And this whole journey started from there. But my journey with ICAP didn't start there. And the IT audit part didn't start there. Because a lot of you have passed through the system, become chartered accountants, and you would remember IT MAC, right? The IT audit, IT management audit and control paper. So yes, I was part of the IT committee in 1999, and we were working on Y2K, and we worked on other things, established IT MAC at that point in time. So there is a rich history. It's not that ICAP is coming into IT audit now. It's been there. It's been there all along. And now we have, rebranded this essentially, if you want to call it rebranding. But we've also made it into a certificate, which is outside of that course, because professionals need it. Just like Asad Bhai pointed out, and earlier Khwaja Tanveer pointed out, this is the need of the hour. Every person now has a computer, a very, very powerful computer in their hands. Knowing how to use it is extremely important. But more than that, protecting the data that is there, your data. And not only your data, also your company's data. And how do you do that? Through establishing very, very strong, reliable controls. And this is the journey for that. So Technology Assurance Certificate. So while we are talking about assurance, there is a huge role that the firms play in it. So external audit, extremely important. So bringing up that aspect and through that whole journey, where it's a very structured approach to address controls through the external audit process. And then we come into internal audit, where it becomes even more detailed. I won't read out all of this. Khurshid mentioned 44 hours. And yes, we do 44 hours, 10 sessions, 4 hours each. And then we have a revision of 4 hours, a comprehensive revision. And then we also have a prep test. What has happened is, out of that, we will see the results in a couple of slides later. But that's a very, very comprehensive and detailed program. And hats off to all of our participants. The way they are committed, the way they attend the regular classes, every Saturday, every Sunday, 4 hours, 10 to 2. It's not a joke, not at all. And we have people, we've had, yes, all of you deserve an applause. And we've had participants, because this is a virtual program, we've had participants who've been coming all the way from Australia and joining us, from the US, from Europe, from the Middle East. Remember, Saudi, we have our participants from Saudi Arabia, and it's a working day on a Sunday. So they've been there. The dedication inspires us, and we have been able to keep going. And when I say us, it is our trainers who've been there. It is our guest speakers who have been joining us, experts who have been joining us from various, and we have Asim Bhai over here in the front, Sanjeev is here, Farhan Lakhan. We've had others, Junaid Kara in the crowd, and so many others who've been there with us throughout this journey and have been sharing and contributing in a very, very big way. The assessment is a very strong part of this, and just like ICAP's whole setup, the structure of the courses, the assessment, nothing to be, it's something to shout about, because it's so independent, so powerful, and the participants who have been going through that, they know. And they have realized that this is something which will be coming up, so they have been preparing. We have that prep sessions, we have a discussion, and usually I'm, when I share this with people, they don't believe it. We have the prep session on a Sunday, and we have the discussion on a Monday or Tuesday evening, 9 to 11 p.m. And people are there because they're so interested to find out what went wrong, or an answer, why is it this and not another. So the commitment, you can see the commitment, and that is what drives us. That is what brings us to success when we go through it. The program, like Khurshid mentioned, we had a lot of discussions and went into it in so much detail. I didn't realize in the beginning that we would go into so much detail and so much discussion. And that may be because I've been doing this training with ISACA and the other programs that we've been doing internally at HBL, at Bank Al Habib, at Ernst & Young, at AKU earlier. We've been doing this, so I didn't realize that there would be so much introspection and inspection and examination of this whole course. But we went into it, and we ended up with 7 domains, 7 areas that are getting covered. Of course, the heart of it is the audit process. So that covers 30% of the exam in 3 sessions. And then we go through all of the technology areas, ending up with cybersecurity, information, cybersecurity, data privacy, data protection, which covers 20%. And we have 2 sessions on that. And these are being taught by experts, by people in the field doing that work. And so, one of our trainers who conducts the session on IT infrastructure operations and support is the head of infrastructure at State Bank. The one who conducts technology governance and risk management is the head of IT governance at HBL. Can we find, people who are more qualified, more experienced to conduct those sessions? The ones who conduct the first one, role of technology auditor, are chartered accountants. Amir is not here now, but he conducts that session. Oh yes, Amir is there. So Amir, everyone knows. And we've had, so thank you very much to our trainers. I'm just naming a few. There are many more. And yes, we've got Murtaza Bhai over here. Murtaza Bhai is the director of cybersecurity at K Electric. Before that, with Sui Gas, and before that, he was with BP in the Middle East. He conducts the information security sessions. Abdul Qadir does who's the executive director at PwC. He conducts the revision session, a comprehensive coverage of the whole thing. And of course, Zainab and I are there, and there's Naushad, who's also a deputy general manager and heading IT audit at Sui Gas. So we've got the best people in the business, and to teach the best, and the participants are the best. So covering all of these areas is extremely important. But it is not enough, right? So there's a journey, and there's a journey that we will go on, inshallah. What I would like to mention over here is that with all of this, like I mentioned, Farooq Rahman Saab was integrally involved in the discussions, guiding us, and areas to cover. So we were covering things from, especially the external audit, from the internal audit. We had a very, very good balance of coverage for that. To date, 212 professionals have attended the TAC program, and 98% have passed. And hats off again to all of them, mashallah, because some of them have done with flying colors. There are a couple that have managed to achieve 100%. And one of them will be speaking to you today. So, yes, we want to showcase the best that we have, and there are quite a few over here. The next cohort is starting, inshallah, on November 23rd. So I would strongly urge you to refer this to your participants, to people from your organizations, because unfortunately what happens is once we start, then we don't stop. We don't enroll anyone. And people then miss out. The next thing comes up 2-3 months later, so that they miss that opportunity. So please encourage them, share this information. This program has been reviewed by the firms. We've had those people look at it. We've had the other bodies look at it. We've had it mapped to other programs like the CISA program, ISACA's Certified Information Systems Auditor program, India's Indian Institute's DISA program, the Diploma in Information Systems Audit. And we have got very, very comprehensive coverage, alhamdulillah. In conclusion, the beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. And I think all of us, if we just sit back and think about it, what we learned so many years back, we are carrying that with us today. I want to talk to you about our faculty and how they have enjoyed it. And I wanted one of our faculty to come and talk about it today, but maybe some other time. Later today we'll have something. This is another thing that we need to remember. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow, right? So we had a very different model when we were testing for the ITMAC paper. We have a very different model when we are testing for this. And we also had to teach our participants about taking MCQs, multiple choice questions, because that is not what something most people had done before. And again, salute to them. They managed to come through, achieve that sort of progress and understanding. Thank you very much.